Welcome back to the Freedom Queen podcast, season 3, where we are talking about I don't need money, money needs me. This entire season 3 is about having power over money and no longer being controlled by money in your life. And if you love this work, then you're also going to love the brand new I Don't Need Money, Money Needs Me program coming out at the end of August that I will link below in the show notes. So to kick us off, I'm going to tell you about a story of shifting my relationship dynamic with money and how it completely changed my life forever. So the principle of I don't need money, money needs me is that, yes, of course you need money. Right? We need money to pay for our bills, your housing, food in order to live. But society has told you that you need money more than money needs you. And when we look at money through the lens of being an entrepreneur, it is not the way that society teaches us to behave with money. Because in society, you are taught to rely on money in order to thrive. But in the world of being a creator, an entrepreneur, someone who does things with their life, then it is your job to create ideas, products, services, solutions for the marketplace that other people want to pay. So if you're not a business owner, then sure, rely on money, rely on your boss, rely on the economy, rely on the government. But if you are a business owner, then you can't rely on any of those things. You have to rely on yourself because you are the producer, you are the creator, not the consumer. The only way that your business grows and moves forward is if you're actively putting yourself out into the marketplace. The only way that you make money is if you sell something. Well, how do you sell something? Well, you create an idea. You get an idea about an offer, and you go and you put it out into the marketplace, and then other people buy it and consume it. Let me put it this way. If you did not come up with that idea, no one would be buying from you. So it is in fact the other way around for business owners. Money needs you more than you need it. Because if you don't come up with the idea to produce the money, then no one's going to have anything to buy from you. And so often in business, people block their creativity. They block their ability to come up with new ideas because they're so obsessed with trying to make money instead of coming up with the next best idea in the marketplace that they end up using tactics, terrible frameworks, outdated strategies, or they have this scarcity mindset when it comes to selling, and people feel it when people are buying from them. But when you know that you are the creator, you're the producer, you're the one who's in charge of making the ideas in the marketplace, and then you go out and make them, now you have the power. So when I first started my company, Freedom Queen, which is now an 8-figure brand, I worked very hard in a 9-to-5 job prior to starting. I made about $50,000 a year, working 40 hours plus per week. I had extra jobs. I had side hustles. I had a lot of student loan debt, and I had New York City rent. And so I believed that in order to make more money, I needed to work harder. I was operating in the lens that I needed money. So I would work hard and then I would receive money. I was the slave, or I was encaged by money. It had control over me. It wasn't the other way around. And as soon as I started my business, I started to notice that the more that I created, the more money I made. The more that I put myself out there in scary situations, the more money I made. The more I posted the content that was valuable for my customers, the more income came to me. The more that I put myself in environments where I was out of my comfort zone, the more clients looked at me as a leader. Because if we were to think about the energetics of being a business owner, it is you and your ideas, and then that goes direct to the marketplace, and then that goes to money. It's not money, marketplace, and then you. And unfortunately, that's how a lot of business owners operate. You are operating with the lens of how can you make money? How can you sign on a client today? You're so obsessed with money that it puts you in a state of scarcity, and you give all your power to money. So you design programs, products, and services based on what you think people will pay because you are controlled by money. You charge certain prices based on what you think people will pay. You even present yourself in your own mentorship, in your business, based on what you think people will pay or value you at. But when you flip the equation and you start realizing that the quality that what you create, the quality of how you position and present yourself, then it goes to the marketplace, then money is made, you'll make a lot more, and it will be so much easier. So let's go through a couple examples of how you might be doing it in the way that you need money more than money needs you. One, you are underselling your services. So you are charging too low ticket for your services. You're not charging enough for them. Two, you base how you feel based on how much money you're making. So you have a low couple of days in business is kind of tough for you, and all of a sudden you're sad. You have a really high day in business, and now all of a sudden you're really, really happy. Your entire worth is based on money, and that is not okay. You're essentially telling the world that you need money more than money needs you. When someone inquires about your offer, you seem desperate. You send them a ton of audio messages. You're almost like thankful that they reached out to work with you. You're trying to be liked more than you're wanting to be respected because you need money more than money needs you. And it creates this feeling of desperation, like this chase. And although you eventually do get the money, it takes forever to get the money, and then you're exhausted. Now let's flip the script and look at I don't need money, money needs me. It's a different energetic. I don't need money, money needs me. This type of business owner, when someone inquires about a service, they don't go to the level that the person is inquiring at, they raise the bar for them. They sell through the lens of being respected, not through being liked. They charge prices that they know their service and business is worth. They make content that elevates them and their buyer, that lifts them up. No matter how much money their business is making, they are still continuing to lead and grow their company. They know that their worth is not based on what their payment processor says, but what they create inside. When they feel fear around doing something that is scary, an investment in themselves, they know that if they say to themselves, I can't do this because I need money first, then they are always living below money. They're always living underneath of it. And instead, they raise the bar from themselves. They go above money and they say, I don't need money, money needs me. And so I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to put myself ahead of the game. And I'm going to take an action that lets the world know that I don't need money, money needs me. And they take actions that put themselves in front of and having control over money. I'll give you an example. Every year I host a 500-person conference in Florida for women in business. And my first year in business, that event costed $400,000 to put on. Now, if I was somebody else and I was operating in the I need money more than money needs me, I would have not invested in that. I would have chickened out. I would have been afraid. I would have gone into complete fear mode. But I don't operate that way because I'm a creator and a producer, not a consumer. I'm the infinite woman, not the linear woman. The linear woman lives in fear, risk. Oh my, someone told me, she's like, that's so risky. I'm like, for you? But that's only because I did this I don't need money, money needs me work. That's only because I started to understand that I am the most valuable asset. You are the most valuable asset, not money. Without you, money wouldn't even matter. You are what creates the wealth. You are what creates the income. So I made a choice to invest $400,000 into an expansion experience for women in the online space that they have never seen done before. And it paid off. I made $1 million in a weekend. Because I don't need money, money needs me. I put myself ahead of it. And so many people energetically are putting themselves behind money. It's money, and then the market, and then them. And so everything is based off of what the market wants. And then whatever the market wants, and then how much money would they pay for it, versus you being the most valuable piece of the company. The more that you operate in I don't need money, money needs me, the better you'll present yourself, the more self-respect you will have, the more you'll fall in love with your business, the more people will look to you as a role model, as a leader inside of your industry. But if you're constantly putting power in the hands of other people, in the hands of money, then you're never going to be a leader. And you're always going to be chasing money, chasing clients, trying to get people to pay you. Say it with me. I don't need money. Money needs me. You don't need something that the government, the world just created. The only reason that money exists is because it's designed to be an exchange of value between two people. That's what determines how much money is going through this transaction. And the more that you value yourself as a woman, and how you present yourself, and how you speak, and how much you put yourself out there, and how many risks that you take, the more money you will make. If you loved this episode, then you are going to love the I Don't Need Money, Money Needs Me program. I will include it in the show notes below, and I'll see you in the next episode where we are going to talk about how to add value to the marketplace inside of your business. I'll see you in the next episode.